stuff. Okay. Hey peeps, been a long time. Yeah, that's fine, whatever. There we go. It's been a while, you know? So what did they call it when a Pakistani guy and a Jamaican guy make a podcast? I don't know what they call it. We've been talking about these topics for like a long time, like since like 2021.
Yeah.
And it's been like super detailed and everything about how everything has come about, the whole the government administration, how they write letters, how they create these instances of like corporations and people as corporations who are actually persons.
Yeah.
And persons as corporations, like your driver's license and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're all persons. They're all dead entities.
They're all dead entities. And
now the funny thing is that when you look back at it and you're like, a dead entity? What is a dead entity? You know what I mean? Like, this is a dead entity.
Yeah.
This is a dead entity. Your paperwork is dead entities, right? Because it doesn't have life.
Correct.
Right? So you are considered a dead entity because they can't deal with, a paperwork can't deal with a living entity or a living thing.
Yeah.
So therefore they have to superimpose you and take your image, right? It says, let us create God in our own image. So if I basically gave you an image of you, right? Because you are God, then I'm taking away from what you actually are. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now my driver's license, right, is now the image of God.
Oh.
Right? Created by someone you don't even know.
Yep.
Not your mom or dad. But your mom was the one who basically allowed them to have access.
Right. So basically what it boils down to is basically you being in the hospital and being like in a weird state where even the hospital is like a port.
Yeah.
Okay? It's a port. It's not a hospital. It's not a place where you get better. It's literally just a hospice. It's like a port,
or a warehouse.
Or a warehouse. I mean, they're both equally valid because they also put
goods
like
and services.
crazy people or sick people in there, right?
Handicap,
and believe it or not, they have the police and the authorities have like this rule that they call the Mental Health Act. At least
tell us about that.
Yeah, well,
you tell us a story.
No. Some other time is probably more appropriate. The gist of it was that I got a little angry and they took me to the loony bin. That was it. So so they have the Mental Health Act, and what they do is essentially they can take you from essentially anywhere on the point of wherever you are in Canada or the United States, whichever it is. They being police officers, healthcare practitioners, or whoever they are, without warrant, search you for everything without warrant, search you for everything, and hell, even if you like, they can just do whatever they can to you.
They can hold you for I think 48 hours.
They hold you for 24 hours.
Oh, 24 hours.
24 hours.
Okay.
According to a Form 10, they call it Form 10. They hold you for 24 hours.
Okay.
And then once a doctor comes sees you, and if he or she determines that you are a danger to society, then they can legally hold you up to 30 days.
Isn't it funny that they actually use this act as it's like if we want to just get rid of anybody, we can use it. And from what I was told, well, it happened to my my ex-wife. One of her friends or her family member basically went out and got a psychological evaluation out on her, right? and they came into the apartment. They just walked into the apartment and just told her that they have a psychological evaluation now for her arrest, and that she has to go to the hospital, right? And she was like, okay, whatever. And then I said, okay, I'll be there as soon as possible. The first thing I did was look up the placement of where the act is. Look up the act, right? And then I read the sections of the act, and it says that one of your family members or somebody you know can actually come and claim you. Mm-hmm. So what I did was I went down there after my daughter was finished school, and then right away went down to the hospital, and I said, do you have any idea how many violations you've broken? And they're like, what are you talking about? And they think that is ironclad, right? But they don't know that they're actually breaking like constitutional laws and like uniform commercial code laws, right?
Oh yes, that's a big one.
And them acting like privateers and treating you like a slave, because that's what they're doing. They're saying that they own you, right? They own you, and then they can take you to their warehouse facility and process you.
Yeah.
Right? And it's funny, I'm using these certain type of words because it's like that's exactly what is done in commerce.
Yep. In a commerce setting,
right? They capture you, they process you, and they hope that the processing can last where they can get funding, right? Because like from the research since 1933, Executive Order 6102, they took the gold from the people. So in taking the gold from the people, like think about this, you took the gold from the continent of the United States of America, which is not yours. This is not, everyone likes to think that this is the West. This is not the West, right? The West is actually Europe, west of China, west of the Middle East, right? And that's their Middle East. Where's our Middle East? Where's our Middle West? Where's the Middle South, North? Where is the middle of those places? Nobody ever asked, right? But NATO is saying that they're the West, but they hold allegiance to Europe, right? So when Eastern Europeans are like, oh yeah, NATO bombed our country, and NATO did this and NATO did that, the first thing I say is, why don't you go talk to your neighbor, because that's NATO. Your neighbor is actually here operating as a foreign agent anchored at dry dock.
Yep. And there's a big story behind that too, because a lot of people, like when we'll throw around some terms like that, and people won't get it because they think that this is some kind of like a magical fairy dust or whatever we're talking about. But if you go look it up, you'll find that this stuff is actually very fundamental and very easy to understand, provided that you look up the terms, right? So if I say, the integral of x to the limit of y is the infinity of blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm just using like some weird ass electrical engineering terms. You'll be like, what the hell is he talking about? But if you actually open a book of calculus and actually started reading what an integral is and what does that limit mean, you will start to eventually start understanding what it means.
Right?
Right? So, but that's the thing, because these terms that we're using, they're simple. Like, they're not calculus. They're not rocket science. They're like simple, basic, grade 2 English.
Well, from reading so much like treaties and constitutions and laws and stuff like that, majority of the so-called Western world, European, are breaking treaties. They're breaking the constitutional law. They're breaking the Uniform Commercial Code.
Yep.
They're breaking even the civil order issued from their own pontiff, right? So it makes me ask the question: where do we live, and what is this environment that we live in, right? Because if I go and get a ticket, I get a ticket or a violation that's basically a debt utterance or issuance, right? And an agent of the crown, which is known as a police officer, but it cannot be called an officer because they weren't elected to office. So they're police agents because they make an oath to their agency, right? Now, when they pull you over and they write their ticket, are they part of CRA? Are they part of the IRS? Do they have any, what do you call them? Tax number? Do they have a tax number stating that they have the ability to create debt from thin air?
They're not even banks, and they just write you a bond on the spot.
And that's why it says voluntary payment. But if you don't pay, then therefore they strike against the card that they issued to you. And it's not striking against you, it's striking against the card they issued to you, stating that you can't use that card, right, unless you pay that toll.
That toll.
Right?
The toll.
Or the bill of the lading.
The bill of the lading. For being in their lane, using their highways.
Yeah.
That's what this is about. And most people probably don't know this. Very few people might know this, but when Queen Elizabeth died, she was probably the only person on the planet who didn't need a driver's license to drive on the roads.
Okay, now the thing is that driver, we need to start looking up a lot of these terminologies when we hear them, because it's not necessarily what it means, right? Like minor and driver and license,
driver,
and
operator,
and
right?
vehicle or automobile, or what's the difference? Now, like when we start coming across these terminologies, we like to go and use Black's Law Dictionary and like to use etymology dictionary. Yeah,
etymology dictionary is really useful. Also, the Thesaurus dictionary, which also kind of broadens the scope and brings more words to light, right? So we use all of those.
Right. Yeah. So it's in my research, I've come to the conclusion and reality, I do have a grade 2 reading level. Mm-hmm. And we all do. Right?
Well,
we never.
A lot of us do. Yes.
We
correct.
all have a grade 2 reading level.
Yeah.
Right.
That's true.
Like the thing is that we can increase that. But we've never been tested to see what level we're at, right? But in knowing that this agent comes and gives me a ticket, and I get this ticket, and I accept this ticket, I now acquiesce or agree to something that's just been created out of thin air without question. And we don't know about 72-hour remission clause. We don't know about
no, nothing. Yeah. None of that sort of stuff.
And none of this is taught in school. There's no blueprint on how to engage police agents. We're taught from school, oh, these guys in uniform, trust them. But there's 50,000 children go missing from United States of America, right? North America, every single year, right? Without question. So that's just Canada. Now there's 100,000 children going missing, right? Every year. Where's the 200,000 parents? I always ask that question. Where's the 200,000 parents? Because if my child went missing, then I know for a fact everybody'd know my face. I'd be knocking on every door. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, I would definitely be putting my face out there and letting people know that, hey, my kid's missing, although I don't have really any children. He does, and he would go, absolutely insane on this. I know for a fact. And anyone watching has children, that they know that they will go berserk. Yeah. If their kid goes missing. Yeah. And they will try everything.
And the funny thing is, the funny thing is that mine are grown now, but I mean, to think that we're dealing with issues now where certain things are being taught in school.
Yep.
Like it makes you think. It makes you think that okay, something is wrong with the system that's allowing this place known as the United States of America, because it's the United States of Canada, United States of the USA, United States of Mexico, United States of Brazil, United States of Argentina. Don't get it twisted. This is all still America. Hey, what nationality? Oh, I'm Canadian. No, you're not.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You think you are.
You think you are,
but you are in the administrative zone. Get that straight.
Right? And explain, what's an administrative zone?
Administrative zone is simply a commercial zone that does not have any rights other than commercial rights.
Right.
That's really it.
Okay. And where would we find those commercial rights?
Yeah, okay, let's go into depth then. You will find those commercial rights in 3 places. Number 1, the Security Exchange Commission, and all the addresses that are listed there in the EDGAR system, okay? Number 2, well, technically it's still kind of the same thing as the SEC, but the Luxembourg Stock Exchange, okay? Juicy stuff, huh? Juicy stuff.
And
number 3,
the Uniform Commercial
the Uniform Commercial Code.
From 1 to 3.
From 1 to 12. From 1, UCC 1, section whatevers, all the way down to 12. That, I mean, the 12 was a recent addition because they had to digitize a lot of stuff. So like they created 12 specifically for computerized stuff, and then made 9 like kind of like the overseer, like the thing that's on top of 12.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but like
because computers getting out of control now, or what?
No, it's just like they're okay. Let's not point any fingers. But the whole digitized or digital atmosphere is something that can be controlled. I mean, there's no mincing words about it. It can be controlled by really anyone who has a server, a switch, and a router. I mean, you can. So that's why they put these laws in place that, oh yeah, this is chattel and that is considered chattel, and your IP that is created digitally is considered chattel. So
what's chattel?
Well, chattel is any inanimate or animate property that can be owned by a specific entity, living or dead. So this could be a person, it could be a living man or a woman, it could be a piece of paper that can own that piece of property. So let me give you an example. Farms, right? So farms are really living things, because whether you count vegetables or you count animals, they're all living things, right? So you're taking their essence into you when you're eating them. So they're all living things.
Right.
Or an inanimate object like a car, a computer, a digital ID, all of that stuff can be considered as property or property of something that owns it. Okay.
So, like say, when I was learning about real estate, there was, they say that if you buy a property, there is only you owning drywall in. Drywall out belongs to the Queen of England. Reason being is that it's a chattel.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And there's certain restrictive covenants that's on each property that makes you can't change the color, you can't change the structure, you can't change this, you can't change that, right?
Yeah. You need permission to do that.
Yeah.
Permission to change your own property, right? And again, this goes back to the definition of chattel, and I've explained it in a very simplistic manner what chattel is, but realistically, chattel actually it alludes to who these people are, like the supreme overlords who are owning this land or ruling this land, measuring this land. That's key.
So now you just popped something in my head. Ruling this land or measuring this land, every surveyor under the Survey Act, right, are basically considered explorers.
Yeah.
Under the doctrine of discovery.
Yes.
But guess what?
What?
Every single explorer or every single surveyor does not have that power anymore, because the Pope of Rome took away the doctrine of discovery.
How did he do that?
I don't know, but I read somewhere that the doctrine of discovery is rescinded.
Rescinded. That's for one of those topics when we could go look up. Yeah, we'll go.
One of those.
We'll have some research ready.
We'll have
for you
some
guys.
research. But yeah.
I mean, this one's just a discussion. We have the research, believe us. Like, we can pull up the stuff, but it's not like ready format. So, but like,
this is just an introduction, just
like
to let you know that this is this podcast basically is just going out to, like, I don't know. I don't know if we want to inform or basically, like, it's just doing research to find out what is really going on. Reason being is that if you can be here in America and knowing the history of America, knowing the history of freedom, or so-called freedom, right? According to constitutional rights, treaty rights, which are the supreme law of the land, right? Why does the court need exclusive jurisdiction when you go and sign up for a license, a driver's license, or sign up for anything, or even doing anything in the court?
Correct.
Right? Because especially when you go to a court, jurisdiction has to be, what do you call it? Agreed upon.
Yes. And you have to agree to it as well.
You have to agree to it. But the thing is, in the terms and conditions of a contract like your driver's license, it says, even though they're Canadian law, you would submit to the jurisdiction, exclusive jurisdiction of the court. Now, exclusivity makes it like, we know that the laws exist, but guess what? We got our own laws, right? So now, when you look at the certain terminologies and the rules of law, then you see that, guess what? They're actually not really a court. It's just a private organization doing banking.
But isn't that by definition a court, though?
Yeah, I guess.
A tennis court,
right? Right? We're playing a game, right? So we're playing the games, right?
Okay.
But
interesting stuff.
It's one of those things where you're like, we're in bizarro world. We're really in bizarro world.
Yeah. I mean, times 10.
Yeah. I thought I didn't know it ran like this. I did not have any clue that you are at 18 or 21. I don't think any of our parents know. I don't think any parents out there know that you're supposed to tell your children or your youth that they have to correct their status and change their status at 18 or 21. In Canada, 18. In America or in the US, right?
In some places 16, in some places 18, some places 21.
But what they say that it's a minor, right? You're a minor. Now, you out there could be, what do you call it? You could be 50 and you're a minor.
Family Guy did an episode on that. Did you know that?
No.
Family Guy did an episode where they made anyone over the age of like 40.
Yeah.
Sorry, anyone up to the age of 45 or something like that, like a minor.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get alcohol. And then
for real?
the Brian the dog was the only one who was legally able to drink any alcohol. So he would bootleg it for Peter. Funny as hell. Funny as hell. But the message was clear that everybody who is under or even 50 years old is considered a minor.
Now, when you go and look up the terminology of minor, like we want we basically use a lot of these terminologies so that you would be curious enough to go and look those up, right? The definition of minor is one who cannot handle their own affairs. That's the definition of minor. I thought it was age. Another definition for minor is what do you call it? In a mine. You're a minor if you're in a mine.
Isn't that interesting?
Right?
Mine or, mine
Right? Miney.
Miney. Drawer.
Draw-E.
These guys don't know anything. You know, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be a jerk. I'm not being a jerk, but
He's
like,
a jerk.
I am a jerk. But I don't mean to be a jerk. But like, really, like, you guys, when we talk to you like this, like, I'm telling you, you guys don't know the meaning of what a drawer is. You think you know. Maybe a grade 2 English level, you know.
I honestly, we all have been duped, stooped, and treated like imbeciles. Okay? I've been to court so many times and I fight all the time. I go to fight. I go there to basically battle. Okay? And see how good I am speaking, see how good I am with my paperwork or anything like that. But I haven't really gone with paperwork. I just gone just to
stir shit up.
Now, when I go there and I start like you know, talking and stuff like that, I realize my speech is sitting on deaf ears because I went into the court as a 2D paperwork. I'm not even existing in the court. What is the court? Paperwork.
Yeah, more or less.
More or less.
It's your docket, yeah.
It's your document, right? Now, when I go in there and I'm speaking, right, that's not a document.
No.
So what am I saying? Why am I talking? Isn't that funny? If my words is basically sitting on deaf ears, right? Like, and I have no paperwork. I just walk in there. I'm trying to defend myself, you know, against a persecutor, right? Which they call a prosecuting attorney.
Yeah, prosecuting attorney.
He's persecuting you. He's
basically nudge.
He wants to basically put some spikes in your hands and hang you on a cross, right? Roman style rules, right?
Pretty much.
Now, when they come up to you and they give you a piece of paper and they say, "Here you go, you've been served," right? He's not serving you; he's killing you. Anytime you get a piece of paper from the court or from anyone that says you've been served, you've been killed. You basically now have to show up in Hades, right? Rise from the dead.
Yep.
All rise from the dead. Right? Because the Magi,
the clownery that goes on.
The Magi, which is the magistrate, right?
Magistrate, yeah.
Or the master in chamber.
Yes.
Right? He's performing magic and raising you from the dead, right? To deliberate on you. Once you be seated, right? He goes through all your cases and stuff like that, right? And you don't have no paperwork to file in the court, guess what? You're shit out of luck, right? Because the persecutor is getting a commission on how much he can get you for with his privateers.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
How much is that commission, dude?
Do you remember? You remember what I said?
You need to say something. People are watching.
Okay, so if I get a ticket, right? I get a ticket for $200, $300.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that ticket is $200. I pay $200.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They get paid $10,000.
How's that?
Because the thing is, every single person or man, woman, and child is in a trust known as the cestui, right? And that trust has been built up since 1666. So your parents have been paying into this trust with their sweat equity, with their bonds, basically. And think about anywhere the Commonwealth has gone. Every single one of those countries are now in the cestui.
Yikes!
So
caught you off guard.
Hold on. So when you left Pakistan, right?
Yeah.
Did your family call Pakistan and say, "Hey, we reached safely"? Did you declare that you were alive?
No.
And you reached safe?
No. That's why we were abandoned, because we don't tell Pakistan that we're alive and well.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like me with Jamaica.
Just like him with Jamaica, man.
Right. When I came here, my mom never said, "Hey, we reached safe. We declare that we're alive and we're well." So in their records, we're capitalized name dead entities.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And every 7 years, you have a chance to basically say, "Hey, I'm present."
Present.
Now I understand. Now I understand when you were in school, they'd be like, "Terrence, present."
Present.
Because I'm in the present.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm alive.
In the now space.
In the now space.
In the now space, baby.
Right? You know?
Yes.
So in knowing all these things, it's like there's some weird stuff going on. There's some magic going on. There's some wordplay going on. There's some fiction going on.
Fiction.
Right?
Fiction.
And in order for you to understand, understand, I even found out that understand doesn't even actually mean understand. It means jurisdiction.
Probably does.
Do you understand the things that are being waged against you? Do you realize that we have exclusive jurisdiction here, and you're in our house, and you will submit to the jurisdiction of this court? Because we got people there with guns. Remember, you weren't allowed to bring your gun into the court. So you have people there with guns waiting to basically kidnap you.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
How is it that, by the way, I've been meaning to ask, why do we have sheriffs in the courthouse? Are they really sheriffs? What's going on, man?
Now,
tell us.
When you go and have a sheriff, okay, the sheriff has to be elected.
Yep.
Okay? A sheriff has to be elected. I know for one fact, nobody in that courthouse is elected. So the terminology of sheriff is actually just a terminology. They're not actually sheriffs. Right?
Okay.
Remember, sharif is also from Arabic. And you know Arabic. What's sharif?
Well, it could mean two things, several, but two definitions that I know. One is fair, and the other one is exceptionally, what do you call it? How do you call a guy who's like super full of etiquette, full of like polite? Some guy who's polite. That's probably like what it means. Usually.
So basically, you're supposed to get a fair trial.
Okay. Okay, go on.
Right?
Go on.
And the sheriff is supposed to treat you fairly.
Fairly, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But in this case, he has a gun and he can slap you in jail. Right? And he's not elected. So therefore, it's a subdivision of a subdivision. So that's a private organization then. You can see that it's a private organization that, you know, is owned by private shareholders. Yeah. Right? What is the remedy to get you, like, you know?
Remedy?
Yeah. What is the remedy to get you, like, out of that system and, like...
Did you guys know that there was a remedy? I don't think anybody knew that there was a remedy.
I don't think anybody knows what remedy means. Because basically, like, it's like, how do you solve the problem? Remedy is something that it's like, okay, I have this pen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I need to use this pen.
Yeah.
What is the remedy of me to use this pen?
Remove the cap.
Remove the cap.
Mm-hmm.
And start writing.
Right.
Okay. That's the remedy. So if I have, if I was pulled over, or if I was going, like, mind you, anyone who is like robbing, stealing, killing, raping, pillaging, all that kind of stuff deserves to fucking go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse my language, but deserves to go to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? But one who's just minding their own business,
mm-hmm.
going about their way, getting pulled over because guess what? The color of your skin does not match what you're riding or what you're driving, right? It's pretty freaking ridiculous to me, right? And that's when I started, like, getting really into it.
Mm-hmm.
I was just sick and tired of getting pulled over for being, like, this color,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And having bad bike.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And too much. It's like, oh, we just ran your plates. Well, hold on for a second. In order for you to run my plates, there has to be a freaking crime. What is the crime? Oh, did I damage anyone? Then did I damage property? Now, property damage, that's a crime.
Yep.
Right? Did I cause anybody or harm?
Mm-hmm.
Hurting anybody?
Mm-hmm.
That's a crime.
Mm-hmm.
Did I cause any financial loss? Now, did I steal from you?
Mm-hmm.
Did I rob you?
Mm-hmm.
That's a crime.
Mm-hmm.
If these three things aren't fulfilled, why are you pulling me over? Right?
Yeah, of course.
Why are you trying to create a case on me? Because that's the whole thing. The prosecuting attorney, they work for the prosecuting attorney under a letter of marque.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Under a letter of marque.
Letter of marque.
That makes them privateers.
What does letter of marque mean, good sir?
Letter of marque. Let's look that up. What do you think
Let's
it means?
look it up.
What do you think it is?
Well, marque is essentially martial law. They can pull you over and take you anywhere they want without any warrants and without any cause. Which is forbidden in I believe it's the 4th Amendment or 5th Amendment? I don't remember. One of the amendments, marque is forbidden of the United States Constitution.
Okay.
And in Canada, they can just fucking do that.
Check this out. Letter of marque.
Yeah.
M-A-R-Q-U-E.
Okay.
Okay. A letter is a document issued by the government in times of war.
Okay, continue.
Okay. Allowing private ships to attack the ship and seize the property and citizens
of a hostile nation.
Now I'm going to ask you a question. Who colonized this place? Britain, Germany, France, Portugal,
You mean
Spain.
NATO?
Yes.
Basically,
the
NATO.
United Kingdoms.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yep.
So
NATO
when they
did.
came here,
Mm-hmm.
so I would be considered hostile nation.
Yeah, that's right. You would be.
Okay? You would be considered a hostile nation.
Oh, buddy, am I ever. Oh, yeah.
Okay? Chinese are considered a hostile nation.
Mm-hmm.
East Indians considered Africans,
Mm-hmm.
right? Anyone but Europeans
Mm-hmm.
are considered hostile nation
Mm-hmm.
because they have a Treaty of London.
Right.
Right? So us being considered a hostile nation, we are actually at war. Reason being is, see, a private ship to attack the ship and seize the property. So when you get your house taken from you, they're basically declaring war against you because they're seizing your property. When they come and take your children, they're declaring war. It's a declaration of war.
By the way, why is it ships?
Oh, would you like to know that one?
Let me make my face as perverted as possible. Lecherous.
Okay, so now we understand marquis, the letter of marquis, right? Because all these are private citizens. So every cop is a private.
Yeah.
Okay? Every agent of the crown is private. Citizen, right?
Yes.
With a letter of marquis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
What is the lowest form of the military?
Private.
Isn't this a military occupied complex? Because they changed the dynamic of the flag and nobody realized. Why?
Walk us through the etiquette, man.
Why?
Why is it so important?
Why is the flag changed?
Why? Why is it changed?
Because it has a gold fringe on the outside of the flag.
Isn't that just ornamental?
You would think it's ornamental, but actually it means something. It means it's a military flag.
What does it mean that?
Because it's military courts.
Oh, okay. So explain that.
And it's going by military laws. So let's look into that.
While he's looking into it,
yes.
Madams and sirs, the yellow fringe around the USA flag or US flag is not a flag of the United States of America. United States of America, as was discovered by Russell Russell-J Gould, died in 1999. Bill Clinton was, as he, in his own words, was the last president of the United States of America. United States of America died. And then, well, the first president of the United States, Inc. was, well, you guessed it, President Bush. Mm-hmm. And then after that, it was, well, Obama, right?
Which is his cousin.
And get this.
His blood cousin.
Get this. He created the French flag. Did you see the French flag when Bush was in power? I didn't see one. I mean, you can take a look at all the newscasts, all the White House broadcasts that they have archived somewhere in a server or a file somewhere. You will not find a French flag. I challenge you. Go and find it out there.
Yeah.
If you do, tell me so I can correct myself. But I challenge you, you will not find one. It only started being used when Obama was the president.
Yep.
Okay? And the reason why, the reason why is because he was Aries. He is the god of war, right?
Yeah.
He is the god of war for the United States of Inc. Corporation. So when
you think it'd be Bush because
you think it would be Bush. Yeah, right, Bush.
Oh, and another thing with Obama, he signed into law for another 50 years the Barbary Treaty.
Oh yes, isn't that nice?
That was the creation of the maritime jurisdiction in the United States of America.
When did he sign that treaty? Was it 2010 or 11? No, it must have been at least 10, because they killed Osama bin Laden in 2011. Yeah. So it must have been 10.
So the Barbary
before that,
you can call it the Moroccan Treaty, the Barbary Treaty, or the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. Okay. So this was in 1786 to 1816, right? Treaty of Peace and Friendship signed in Tripoli, right?
Tripoli.
That was this one, Barbary Treaty. Okay. So the menu There is text treaty, translation, ship signal agreement. There it is. So basically, in order for, what happened was there was a war, right? Napoleon even came over and had a fight with us and lost. There was the Maroon.
Yeah, the Maroon Wars.
The Maroon Wars.
Haiti.
Right? Haiti and Jamaica. The Haitians and the Jamaicans. Those damn troublemakers. Right? Okay.
Skating all over the place. Skating all over the place. What are you guys doing, man? Skating, bobsledding. What's going on?
Okay. Now, the thing is that the Portuguese, the French, the English, the Dutch, the Spanish, all of them came and got their ass kicked. They all lost.
They pretty much did, didn't they?
They lost. So therefore, when we came into power, we created the Constitution of 1805. Now, the Constitution of 1805 is the common law constitution. When you actually fight a war against the inhabitants has the right to what? Create a constitution. And we had an emperor. Yes, we had articles in the whole Constitution, and it reads as such. It's the law of the land, straight. Now, they got their asses kicked and they had to leave. But the thing is that they were pretty smart now, weren't they?
Pretty clever.
Very clever. Because the thing is, they had to go to Morocco to sign a treaty with the Moroccans to create the United States of America, right? Allowing them to create a jurisdiction of maritime. And it was only a maritime jurisdiction. That's the thing. I don't think the Moroccans even thought that they would bring it on the land and superimpose
the whole
fictitious ocean on the whole continent.
Yeah. No, I don't think that they ever knew it. Any of that
Ever
stuff.
since then, that's when they dammed all the major river systems, created dams, about 99,000 of them in North America alone. And every single major city is in a riverbed.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You look at Calgary.
It's in a riverbed.
Edmonton. Well, relatively, yes. You go to Regina Riverbed. You go to heck. You even go down as far down south as Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like Nashville. Maybe not Nashville, but like surrounding areas are super. Like they're in a riverbed, man.
All in a riverbed.
All of them, especially.
And therefore, keeping up the appearance of being in a maritime jurisdiction. But the thing is, the jurisdiction of the United States of America only goes 12 miles square. That's only Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and Guam. And you can find this information in the UCC, right? At the moment, we don't have the codes because basically we're going to do like different shows on all that kind of stuff.
Starting out.
Yeah. So this is the first one, but you know, it's these things have to be said. It has to be known.
Yeah, they have to be said.
And if you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
Reason being is that I don't know if anybody out there realizes, but Mr. Charles.
That's the apt name for him, Mr. Charles.
Mr. Charles, also known as the King of. I don't even know what he's the king of, but he's the King of Canada.
Apparently.
Being implemented under the Constitutional Act, which was taken out in 1982 and brought in a charter. So how is it possible they can go from an act to a charter and back to an act? So things, documents can change hands, right? And no claim is made. they're basically saying that this place is, there's nobody living here, and Mr. Charles can just come in and be the king of Canada. Now, I wonder how many people out there would like Charles to be the king of Canada after knowing the scandal of him leaving Diana and going with that lady. I don't.
We don't even know if it's a lady. Never heard her speak. Never heard anything from that lady.
Yeah.
Maybe that's tradition, but
yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Like, give us a hint.
Yeah.
Michelle.
We don't know. We don't know right now. So there's a lot of trans speak at the moment when it comes to Charles.
Yeah.
His brother is a pedophile.
Yes.
He's on Epstein's list.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's a big yikes.
A lot of royal families are inbreded.
Yeah, that's a fact. Hamburgs. Look up the Hamburgs.
Right.
The Hamburg jaw. Look it up. If you have one, you know why you have one. Inbred. Yikes.
So there's a lot of stuff we're going to be talking about. A lot of stuff. We're going to be hitting a lot of topics.
There's so much to talk about.
You know, it's going to be fun though.
Oh yeah, it'll be fun.
You know what I mean?
We'll probably get some people on our asses, but who gives a shit? I mean, they're already on our asses.
You know what?
So what does it matter?
It really, not tell you the truth. It's time to realize that you are a dead entity. In order for you to claim your life or tell your respective countries that you are safe and you're not dead and lost at sea, I would suggest the first place to start would be the 1666 cestui.
1666 cestui. Read it, man. It means the one who lives. It's a French word. C'est cestui. But, I mean, go read it. Go read it. You have a nom de guerre. Nom de guerre means a war name or a battle name, like a battle chant or like one of those things that they put on dog tags. So, like, go read it because.
How about this?
How about that?
Hold on. How about we read it? Because we think
it's only 4 pages.
So, no, it's only 2.
Okay, 2. Fine. They may have.
Go on.
Okay, let's read it. Let's read it. Okay. All right. So, cestui Act.
Okay, hold on. Where did I go to find this?
Yes, that's very important. He went to legislation.gov.uk.
So the reason why I went looking there is because if I go to any courthouse in Canada, what do I see? I see this.
Oh, they probably can't even see it.
They won't even see.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
I see this on the outside of the courthouse.
There it is.
And come on. There's a light
on there.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So now you can actually see cestui v 1666. Okay.
All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Are you ready for this? Probably not. You don't know what you're gonna get hit with.
This is the first time I think anyone's reading the cestui v on Freaking Line because I looked up so many places and nobody reads it.
No one reads it. All right, let's read it. Cestui Act 1666, 1666, Chapter 11, 18, and 92, Chapter 2. An act for redress of inconveniences by want of proof of the diseases of persons beyond the seas or absenting themselves upon whose lives estates do depend.
Okay. So, one question I ask, okay? You now, right? Since the time you started working or since the time you started accumulating assets and stuff like that, do you believe that your dad has accumulated assets?
No.
He has a house, right?
I mean...
He has a car, right?
Sure.
Okay, he's done stuff, right?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Do
you think that your great-grandfather has accumulated assets?
He did. For sure he did.
Okay.
Definitely.
Do you think his great-grandfather or his grandfather?
Yeah.
Or his dad?
Definitely.
And before that enough? So
yeah, definitely.
Okay. So then, therefore, they've accumulated land. They probably have property and all that kind of stuff.
They had shops. They had palaces. Like they did that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So, do you think that all that from the past would be in your bloodline?
I mean, probably.
It's called generational wealth.
Yeah.
And I understand that a lot of Europeans, they practice that here, generational wealth, because they've taken 400 years of slavery and they're still living on the generational wealth of the slave masters, right?
Yep. That's right.
So this here, because we all were colonized by...
Yeah. Colonized.
Colonized, straight up the rectum. Right? They would put all that stuff in a trust. That basically states that this is how much you are actually worth. Because they go around saying that that's how much we're worth anyway. With Jamaica, right? We go to the IMF, we get some money and stuff like that, but guess what? They tell us we're only worth $200 to $1.
Jeez.
See what I'm saying? Continue, please.
Recital that STQVs have gone beyond seas and that reversioners cannot find out whether they're alive or dead.
So that would be probably prosecutors, wouldn't it?
Yes, reversioners are then prosecutors.
The persecutors.
The persecutors. Whereas, I love that whereas. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. Whereas diverse lords of manors, and others have granted estates by lease for one or more life or lives, or else for years determinable upon one or more life or lives. And it has often happened that such person or persons for whose life or lives such estates have been granted have gone beyond the seas or so absented themselves for many years that the lessors and reversioners, so lessors are people who essentially get, like, they lease stuff from other people.
So wouldn't it be the lawyer? The lessors.
Yeah, the lessors. The lessors.
And the reversioners would be the prosecuting attorneys.
Pretty much.
Because the judge is just a deliberator.
Yeah, the judge is like just a deliberator. Not even. Okay? Judge is like, I don't know, man.
Don't say it.
I don't want to say nothing. I don't want to say nothing, okay? You guys know what I'm talking about. Okay. Lessors and reversioners cannot find out whether such person or persons be alive or dead, by reason whereof such lessors and reversioners have been held out of possession of their tenements for many years after all the lives upon which such estates depend are dead, in regard with the lessors and reversioners, when they have brought actions for the recovery of their tenements, have been put upon it to prove the death of their tenants, when it is almost impossible for them to discover the same, for remedy of which mischief so frequently happening to such lessors or reversioners. So essentially what they're saying is that the lessors and the reversioners were being cheated out of the tenements when
they wanted to steal it.
When somebody would go out and essentially never come back
or die
overseas. That obviously, I mean, it would hold true by that these people would then just have like some stuff made up, right? So maybe let's continue the last one here.
Go to the second one.
Yeah, the second one here. So STQV remaining beyond sea for, ready for this? Ready?
Yeah.
For 7 years.
7.
7.
Oh. Hey, hold on. Who did this?
Who did this?
Didn't Michael Jordan do this?
Did he do this?
Just telling you straight up.
Yeah, he did. You're right. He did do that. He did do that, didn't he? All right. 7 years together and no proof of their lives. Judge in action.
Judge in action.
Not in action. In action.
Yes.
Like as in inside.
Yeah.
To direct a verdict as though cestui were dead.
Oh shit. So basically, even if you're like standing in front of me, right? And I'm the commissioner or the judge, right? I'm actually supposed to make you a dead entity.
Or I can put you on paper and make you dead.
All rise.
Okay. See, ladies and gentlemen, we're not saying this to screw with your minds. We're doing this to help you. Maybe you wake up. Maybe. We don't know. But we hope that you do.
Well, it's not even just wake up. It's just to let you know. This is how shit's running. Right? And we weren't taught this in school. And we wonder why our world is so screwed up.
Oh, buddy.
We wonder why foreign agents anchored at dry dock are basically telling us that we're going to eat bugs and we're going to enjoy it.
Z-bugs.
We wonder why foreign agents anchored at dry dock basically want to tell us that you will own nothing and love it.
Ooh. Okay, let's continue. If such person or persons for whose life or lives such estates have been or shall be granted as if aforesaid, shall remain beyond the seas or elsewhere absent themselves in this realm. In this realm. Realm.
In this realm. So realize that there's more than one realm.
Yep. And these universes are not created physically. Okay? They're imaginations of these evil Machiavellian people. Realm by the space of 7 years together.
7 again.
7 again. And no sufficient and evident proof, oh shit, be made of the lives of which person or persons respectively in any action commenced for recovery. Oh, okay. Commenced for recovery of such tenements by the lessors or reversioners in every such case, the person or persons upon whose life or lives such estate depend shall be accounted as naturally dead, and in every action brought for the recovery of the said tenements by the lessors or reversioners, their heirs or assigns, the judges before whom such action shall be brought, shall direct the jury to give their verdict as if the person so remaining beyond the seas or otherwise absenting them himself, because it's a whatever.
It's a man.
It's a man. It's a man. It's a man. Okay, it's a man. It's not a woman. Okay, women did not hold property, and to be fair, they can, but they really shouldn't.
No.
We're dead.
We're all dead. But the thing about it is,
mic drop.
When you own property, right?
Yeah.
Now the thing is, you have to understand, it was a matrilineal world that we lived in.
Yeah.
Okay. But men decided that they were going to gather together and create these groups of men that only could join these organizations, only could buy property, only could do this and do that, right? Kicking out the woman, right? When she was the actual one that held property. Why? We would go to war. We would kill each other. So who do you think is going to hold property? The woman's going to hold the property, right?
Yep.
When here's another aspect of it. Every single sperm is female. As a zygote, you decide to change from female to male.
Okay.
Right? Mother Earth, you're in the element of a female. Mother Earth, the womb of the planet.
Right.
She holds property.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? We are the ones that basically stated that, oh, they don't own shit.
For all you deadbeat Muslims out there, that's what Rahim means, you fucking idiots. It's a female world, jackasses. Everything is female.
Everything.
The only reason why we males exist is for two reasons. Because Mother Nature didn't want to get bored, and second, she wanted to have beautiful sex. That's it.
Right?
That's really it.
And procreate.
And procreate.
And create more.
And create more. Panspermia can only happen. The panspermia can only happen if there is a male and a female.
Yeah.
And male is by virtue of Mother Nature's blessings, or rather the growth of Mother Nature is actually made the leader because of this. Yeah. Because he can
because we could actually protect as well.
Yes.
Right?
Because we have look, like the flat chest is the armor. Yeah. Right? The
shoulders, the arms, shoulders, everything.
This is kind of like a tank.
You're supposed to be there to protect or fight off danger.
Yeah, it's a tank, right? If you look at a tank, same reactive armor, it's very flat. It's like protective. Yeah. But when you look at a female, it's like, curvy, very soft, very voluptuous, right? Cool. Guys, we're going to end it here. Yeah. Beautiful discussion. We're going to have it again. But I hope you guys join in for the next one. I hope I bother you again. Yeah, bro. That's right. All right, guys. See you later.
Have a good one.
All right.